So do you also use BigCommerce for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to log customer orders from BigCommerce to Airtable for inventory management. So like you, I also use BigCommerce to sell my products online, and now what I want is that as soon as we receive a new order from BigCommerce, I want to add the order details into my Airtable so that my sales team can do the easy tracking and inventory management. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between BigCommerce and Airtable, and we are going to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language using an amazing automation software which is Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen everyone. In this video I'll show you how to automatically log customers order from BigCommerce to Airtable, helping you to manage your inventory in real time whether you're tracking the SKUs, quantities or customer details. This setup gives you a live database that updates itself with every new order. So to do this, I'm just going to open a new tab and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. Now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and easy to use automation tool that requires no coding or programming knowledge. And using this tool only, we're going to create this automation. But before we move on further, I'll just show you something really helpful. This is the Pabbly community where automation users, business owners and marketers connect. It's a space where users share their ideas, solutions and workflow tips. So if you're stuck at any step, the community is a great resource of guidance. And if you also want to join this community, the link is given in the description box below. Make sure to check it out. Alright, I'm just going to move on further and create this amazing automation. For that, I'm just going to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here we're just going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can simply click on this button which says sign up for free, and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I'm an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in, and once I'm just going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here going to see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And once I'm just going to click on this access, now it is going to open the dashboard of my Pabbly Connects account. And to get started, I'm just going to simply click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me to select the workflow builder. So to select the workflow builder, we have two options. The new workflow builder, which is faster, flexible and ideal for those who want a modern interface. And the classic one on the other hand, which is perfect for users who prefer a stable, tried and tested setup. So you can use any one from this. I'm just going to use this new one, so I'm just going to go towards this select button of the new one, and now I'm just going to move in further. It is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So for the workflow name, I'm just going to simply enter my workflow name as this: customers orders from BigCommerce to Airtable for inventory management. And now for the folder, I'm just going to select it as this and click on this create button. And now once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens, and trigger is the one which starts the process, and the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger. Alright, so for today I'm just going to use BigCommerce as the trigger because I want whenever we're going to receive a new order from BigCommerce, automatically the details should be added in Airtable. So Airtable will be action. So first I'm just going to set up my trigger. So I'm just going to go towards this add trigger button, and now I'm just going to add the trigger application right over here, which is BigCommerce. So I'm just going to search for BigCommerce right over here and select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm just going to simply select it as new order created and click on this connect. Now in order to connect this BigCommerce, I'm just going to go towards this add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the store hash key, client ID and access token. So how are we going to get this? For that, I'm just going to open my BigCommerce account. From the left side of the bar, I'm just going to go towards this settings section, and now I'm just going to scroll this settings and look for store level API accounts, and now I'm just going to go towards this, and then we're just going to go towards this create API account button. And now it is asking me for the token type, so I'm simply going to select it as API token. Now it is asking me for the name, so I'm just going to keep it as testing right over here. Over here it is giving me an API path, and in this API path only we have the store hash key. As you can see that this is the store hash key, which is after stores slash and before slash v3. So I'm just going to look for my API path, and over here I'm just going to copy this whole URL and paste it right over here. And as you can see that the store hash key is after this store slash and before this slash v3. So I'm just going to keep this. I'm just going to erase the rest of the details, and now I'm just going to move on further. Now I'm just going to give Pabbly some permissions. So for that I'm just going to select this customers, content, customer login information and settings, marketing, orders, transactions, payments, and then I'm just going to move on further. I'm just going to give permissions for products, then I'm just going to give it for cards, checkouts, and that's it. So yes, now I'm just going to give all of these permissions and click on this save. And once I'm just going to click on this save, it is saying account created successfully, and over here is the client ID and the client secret. So I'm just going to first copy this client ID, and then I'm just going to paste it right over here. Then I'm just going to copy this access token which is given right over here. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it right over here. And after pasting all of these details, I'm just going to simply click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our BigCommerce account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, it is saying waiting for a webhook response. Alright, so we're just going to do the test submission. For that, I'm just going to go towards my store right over here, and I'm just going to purchase a product. Let's say I'm just going to purchase this natural face wash. So I'm just going to add it in my cart, and then I'm just going to click on this checkout. And once I'm just going to click on this checkout, over here I'm just going to enter all of my details to purchase this product. Alright, I'm just going to enter all of my details, move on further, and then I'm just going to simply click on this button which says continue. And once I'm just going to click on this continue, I'm just going to simply enter my payment details, which is my card details, and click on this place order. And once I'm just going to click on this place order, yes, you're going to see that we're going to receive the positive response that we have successfully placed the order. And over here is my order number, which is 114. Alright, so with this we have successfully completed the test submission. So now I'm just going to open my workflow, and Pabbly has captured the response of the same test submission right over here. And now you're going to see that we have successfully received the details right over here. But we want the details of a customer so that we can add it right over here, right? So how are we going to get that? So you can see that we have successfully received this order ID, and now using this order ID, I'm just going to get the details of my customers. So I'm just going to first close this trigger step, and I'm just going to go towards this add action step. I'm just going to left click on the trigger and go towards this add action step button. Now once again for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as BigCommerce. Now for the event, I'm just going to simply select it as get order by ID and click on this connect. I've recently connected my BigCommerce account, so I'm just going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. And now I'm just going to enter the order ID right over here. But I'm not going to enter the order ID manually, but instead I'm just going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected BigCommerce as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only like this. So I'm just going to simply map these details, and now this detail will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. And after mapping this order ID, I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, and you're going to see all the order details right over here. We have successfully received the details of our customer, be it the first name, last name, or the address, email, and phone number too. And I'm just going to add these details right over here in my Airtable. For that, I'm just going to add another action step right over here. And now for the action application, I'm just going to simply select it as Airtable. And now for the action event, I'm just going to simply select it as create record and click on this connect. Now in order to connect this Airtable, I'm just going to go towards this add a new connection and then connect with Airtable button. Alright, and now Pabbly is going to ask me for some permissions. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to give Pabbly permission. So for that, I'm just going to click on this add all resources and then grant access. And once I'm just going to click on this grant access, yes, you can see that with this we have successfully connected our Airtable account. And I'm just going to simply select the base name right over here, which is BigCommerce details. And then I'm just going to move on further, select the table name right over here. And then I'm just going to move on further, and one by one I'm just going to map all of these details. First, I'm just going to map the first name, so I'm just going to look for it and map it. Then I'm just going to map the last name. So one by one I'm just going to map all of these details, and these details will turn dynamic. Alright, so I'm simply going to map all of these details. details, and then I'm just going to move on further. I'm just going to map this phone number. Now I'm just going to map the address too. So I'm just going to look for address in the response of my previous step. And over here, I'm just going to map the street address, put a comma, then I'm just going to map the city, put a comma, and then the state. And after mapping all of these details, I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And after clicking on this save and send test request, it is saying that it has successfully added the details in my Airtable account. So I'm just going to first open my Airtable database, and as you can see, the details have been added. Over is the first name, the last name, the email address, the phone number, and the address. So the details have been added right over here in my Airtable account. And now with this, we have successfully completed our workflow. And now what is going to happen is that whenever we're going to receive a new order from BigCommerce, automatically the details of that order will be added right over here in my Airtable account. So all of this is going to happen in backend. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. So yes, now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.